What's up, guys? This is Josh.
Christopher.
We're actually recording the original video again. What happened was there was a computer issue while we were transferring files for the Latitude review. As you notice, Connor will be in the second part of the video, but he's not here. This is actually the day after. Computer glitches, they happen. So, the cigar that we're talking about, we'll have a cigar mock-up during our next video just so you can take a look at what the cigar looks like, because there actually wasn't any of the cigar left when we were done smoking it.
Yeah, we talked about the aesthetics of the cigar, how the cigar was made, how beautiful it was, even the label. You loved the fact that it had a split label, which we can't show you now.
Beautifully made cigar, excellently constructed, and they're excellent cigars, as you'll be able to learn more about in the second part of the video.
Did we talk price point?
Yeah, I think we might have mentioned it. But anyways, let's just get right into it. What we were talking about was the Latitude Zero Excursion, I believe.
Yep.
Yes. And that's actually made by Oliva, one of the premier cigar companies. This is actually one of their newer extensions of that line. And it was, let's just say it was a phenomenal cigar. More about that later, but I think both Chris, myself, and Connor will agree with us that it was well loved. They weren't too pricey. I think he ended up paying, when the math comes out.
12-pack or something like that?
He bought a 12-pack online on a Cigar Bid, which is a eBay for cigars and other tobacco products.
That's his crack addiction, is he can't go on that website, I believe he said, without spending a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, it's an excellent website. I recommend anyone to check it out, but just know that you're going to spend a lot of money on it.
Yep.
Just some quick background information about the cigar. The cigar features a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. The binder is Ecuadorian tobaccos, and the filler is actually a blend of Honduran and Nicaraguan long fillers. So you have a lot of different components blending a lot of different flavors into the cigar. And even though my review of it is slightly different than the other two, I think you will see that it was well loved all around, and this is a cigar that we would all absolutely recommend.
I'm going to buy a box.
It also comes with a really cool leather case, which I'll make sure Connor brings to the next video if that doesn't make it in, to so you guys can show it off. And that's only if you buy the 12, and I believe there's another one, but if you buy anything over a 5-pack, it comes with that neat little leather container. It has like a belt clip on it. Really, it's really well constructed leather too.
So if you magically stumbled upon a bunch of cigar smokers, you have 12 cigars. I mean,
exactly.
How often does that happen? I don't know, but you're always prepared. He'll have his other satchel with the lighter and the punch and all that stuff on the side, so he'll be the party on the go.
Right.
I'll just have to be the guy carrying the 12-pack of beer.
Yeah, he'll just put his flask in Nature's pocket.
There you go. Nature's pocket, the prison wallet.
Yeah. So while we're fighting off the yellow jackets, unless you have anything else to add in real quick about the cigar before we get into the review.
We didn't talk about first impression real quick, as you guys broke it out of the wrapper, what you thought,
right?
The smell, the binding.
At first, what we did notice a lot actually, and Chris is right, we didn't go into this in the original file that was corrupted, so now's a good time to do it. As soon as we open up the cellophane wrapper on the cigar, you could definitely, on the pre-laid jaw and even before we cut the cigar, had a nice spicy aroma. The foot of the cigar wasn't really that spicy, but you can just pick up when you did the pre-light jaw that there was going to be a lot of...
I was definitely like, wow, this is going to be a good cigar right off the rip, and I don't say that very often at all. You
knew that this was going to be a nice, full-bodied, spicy cigar, but it actually wasn't knock you on your ass full-bodied. Certainly not.
It's still, you can still put that in almost the entry-level class for being a heavier cigar. That
I would recommend this, what would you say, for people who are just starting to get into more full-bodied cigars who want to...
I'd put that at the top of the list. I mean, like I said, I was completely blown away by this cigar, being the snob that I am with certain cigars, not really wanting to smoke anything but Christoph. And shouts to Connor, because he has chosen epic cigars every single time. I've enjoyed them.
Right.
I'd put this in my top 3 for sure.
Absolutely.
I know we're talking about it beforehand and then talking about it at the end, but this cigar, everybody smoked down to the nub and didn't want to put it out because it was that good. And it burned cool. They burned even.
Right.
All the way to the end to where we had to toss them. You just cut it, right?
Yeah, I just did a plain straight cut. I believe you and Connor both
I punched around
it, right?
the rim, and then Connor punched the back, and they all were consistent. All 3 styles of smoking it were consistent across the board.
Oh, yeah.
We smoked at different rates, but they were down to about the same.
Yeah, probably about the same.
3/4 of an inch ballpark before we were like, man, they're done.
Right. And I can't remember if we explained it in the second part of the video, but I'll say it now. There wasn't anyone. As sometimes when we're smoking the cigars, you know, Chris's wife or some of our other friends will say, "Oh, I don't really like the smell of the smoke on that." Yeah, like our very first video, I believe it was, we did the El Jefe, which is an excellent cigar.
My house stunk for a week.
Right. It has a very odoriferous smoke. This one, there wasn't any complaints about it. Everyone loved it. It was a nice smelling smoke.
Across the board, I think everyone kind of, like Jamie and them, the room note, even though we were outside, still had like that holiday Christmas spirit kind of smell to it.
You're still picking up that nice cinnamony, nutmeggy allspice.
Right, so, you know, and if you smoke cigars, you're usually around people and stuff like that often, so you kind of think of those people too. That's why I may choose a pipe or something over a cigar depending on the crowd, so you don't stink them out and stuff like that.
Right.
This I would smoke in a crowd.
Oh, easily.
It's not going to piss off, and you're not going to have a bubble of 50 feet around you because nobody wants to be near you.
No,
this one.
It didn't put out a very unpleasant smell, and I would have no issue smoking this one inside a house either, because it wouldn't create an unpleasant smell that would linger.
We could talk about the smoke, the thickness of the smoke, like the El Jefe we talk about, the drag that you got, even on a light drag, was heavy.
Right.
Heavy smoke.
It was a very thick smoke.
It stayed in the room. Where this, you had that feel that it was a nice heavy draw, but when you exhaled, it wasn't bad. We did smoke in the basement a little bit, and we had the vent on, and the vent worked just fine. But I mean, even outside, there was no wind last night. It wasn't a cloud that you couldn't see through.
No.
We have certain evenings.
There wasn't a lot of. It wasn't a very high smoking cigar, which I've said it before. I'll say it again. I just kind of personally, I like a heavy smoking cigar with a lot of smoke. But this one, I honestly have really not a lot of complaints to say about the cigar.
It's one
I
of the
have
few
a
cigars
few
that I can
things
say
that I'll get into in the second part of the video, but for the most part, this was an excellent experience.
If you could say anything negative, what would you?
The only thing I can think of, and it was reflected in my rating of the cigar in the second part of the video, I would have liked a little bit more stronger of the coffee spices, just because that's how my palate is. I like getting that coffee.
It came and went. It came and went, and I noticed the coffee towards the end of it, and just early in the beginning. But the middle, when you hit that sweet spot, is where you got the real nutmeg and cinnamon.
Which was excellent. It was a very pleasant cigar.
I have never had a cigar that had that type of flavor where every drag you took, like I think you said in the second one, it was something different. So you were drawn. In conversation, I kept stopping because I'm like, "Did you guys tasting this shit?" I was like, "Damn!" And I think the beer. I only had one beer last night, but the Oktoberfest from Sam Adams that I had, I let everybody try it, and I don't remember if I said that in the second video, but it accentuated. They were so close, hand in hand, that you could actually taste the cigar more, and then stuff in the beer you actually picked up on more because of the cigar. So I would put them together again.
No, I would absolutely pair that, not necessarily just with the Sam Adams Oktoberfest, although that is a very good
Rosemary's
Oktoberfest.
Baby, what's that one there?
We did the, I forget exactly the name of it. I think it might have been Rosemary's Baby, the Two Roads Pumpkin Beer, that would have paired well with this. Or any really malty fest beer kind of thing.
Guinness would be really neat with that.
If we revisit the cigar, that wouldn't be a bad idea. We can try a Guinness with it and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you don't have anything else to add, feel free to please stick around for the rest of this video so you can actually see what our immediately afterthoughts were.
And it was late. We didn't start till 10 o'clock last night.
Oh, yeah,
and then we did the review because it was about an hour, 20, hour and a half.
Yeah, around that for smoke time.
So we got to the review midnight, right? It was like,
probably
I have it on the watch. You'll see the smart watch.
Yeah.
And then after Josh went home, Connor and I stayed up till 3 in the morning just bullshitting. So I didn't sleep worth shit last night.
But yeah, no, definitely this was a cigar that we'd recommend, as we'll get into. So
if Connor comes over today, I'm gonna steal one from him.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you. In other words, stick around for our next video. I think we're going to be doing the Padron 2000s, as you'll see.
I've never had one of those.
Those are tasty. I show one at the end of the video, so you'll be able to see what that looks like. And thank you for watching.
Explicit. Fireside Cigars.
Fireside Cigars.
Ammo. See you guys later. It's late, so we should finish up this video here. Welcome back to Fireside Cigars.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is after we finished up with the Latitude excursion. So I want to first start off by saying this is tobacco in it, because I know there's going to be people questioning me. So, what do you guys think of the Latitude?
I'm very happy with that purchase. It's probably right now, and I like dark cigars. It's probably my favorite Maduro cigar. Not the best one I've had, keep in mind, but like super smokable. I could smoke that any day of the week. Just great. What do you guys think about it?
Well, definitely a nice oily wrapper, as I showed you guys earlier. What I was picking up right off the bat is there's a lot of spice coming from it, and that's a very overarching term. What I was getting, rather than a lot of the peppery spice that you can usually see, I was getting a lot of actually coffee spice, especially towards the end of the cigar. But right off the bat, I could get that. Yeah. There was some sweetness, but that really wasn't a large palate for me. I got a lot of the coffee spice, and actually, interestingly enough, especially more towards the middle of the cigar, kind of like a cinnamony, chestnutty, sort of allspice kind of thing.
Like holiday.
Right.
Christmas time.
You know, the holiday spice that you think of walking in, finding the oven on something baking, that kind of thing. Overall, not the most complex cigar I've ever had. However, it was an excellent cigar. I'd probably put it maybe 7, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I got a little more. I got this like hazelnut coffee sort of flavor out of it. Without all the sweetness, you go to Dunkin' Donuts, they pour like a freaking cup of sugar in your coffee.
Diabetes.
But yeah, definitely a coffee flavor, especially towards the end. Hazelnut, cinnamon, cardamom, a little bit like almost gingerbread. And it's kind of a cigar that changes with each puff for me. So you get more of the coffee in one puff, you'll get more of the spice in one puff. Well burning, good draw out of it.
About an hour and 20 minutes, we were all pretty consistent.
Yeah, it was definitely a very long smoke.
Well, one thing is a little bit of dry mouth with that cigar. And really,
definitely agree.
If you're gonna have it with a beer or any libation of your choice.
Have it with something to drink next to it.
Yeah.
I paired it with the Oktoberfest.
Yeah, it was the Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
And I had these guys try it, and I thought it was an excellent pairing. The flavors.
The maltiness of the Sam Adams Oktoberfest definitely did play well, and did help to accentuate the spice.
Oh yeah.
I think if you want like a on par match, it's like something that's similar to the cigar to smoke with it. Like a coffee stout or a robust kind of porter or something that's got a lot of sweet raisin flavors in it.
Yeah, I'd say so. What do you think about the cigar, Chris?
First, I'd definitely give it 10. 10 out of 10 for me. You know how I am with cigars and trying different things. This cigar was excellent. The room note, smoking it, everybody enjoyed. It didn't overpower. The smoke wasn't dank, is that the right word? It wasn't thick. It didn't overpower.
No, it didn't have a putrescence to it.
We chose to smoke outside by the fire, and the room note, even though we weren't in the room, I thought was good.
There was a handful of other people sitting around the fire here, and
nobody
none of them
bitched.
had any issues with the smoke.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, smoke what cigars you want to smoke. There's always that popular cigar smoking T-shirt. I use my cigar smoke as idiot repellent. But friends, family, you don't want to.
You don't want to stick them out.
Yeah. So for me, I'll put it somewhere in between Josh and Chris. Maybe an 8.5 or a full 9. Crazy Arab smoking machines out of 10.
To know, I mean, the construction of the cigar, nobody got any canoeing. Nobody had any knots.
No.
The draw was perfect all the way through the cigar.
Constructed cigar.
Yeah, right down to the end, they were both flat, or all three of them were completely, even.
Right.
So definitely, you want to interlude into that crazy contraption on the fucking table?
Yeah, well, we're smoking a hookah. We had a friend of the family's, cigar family, Chris family. Bring this over, and I love me some hookah. It's super popular pretty much everywhere in the world, but especially Middle East and in parts of Asia. Turkey, which I don't know, Middle East.
It's a different form of smoking tobacco. So not only, with the pipes and the cigars, you could show you also another method to being able to enjoy your tobacco and different flavors. You got that pack I put behind the thing to show them?
It's shisha. You've never been exposed to any of this. It's a really sticky kind of, and it's not always made. Yeah, it's not always made with tobacco.
It looks like freaking Jello in there.
It's not always made with tobacco. Sometimes it's mint leaves and stuff like that. You get like these crazy fruity sort of flavors out of it usually, but that can be a fun deviation from the norm for us.
If there's interest in it, yeah, feel free to let us know if you want. If there's enough interest, we can certainly put together a couple of hookah shows, because that is a whole other
monster,
whole other ball games. There's a lot of intricacies involved in it, so that'd be
a little more maintenance and stuff, because obviously you need
it's more maintenance as far as getting the hookah started. Once you get it going, there's not much. You've seen Connor poke at the coals a little bit, but it's definitely a different animal. So if there's interest, we'd be happy to go into that.
Yeah, it's fun. It was actually, while I was in China, a lot of like the trendier, more upscale bars there have like hookahs you could rent for an hour or so. So it's just a little something different to offer you. Of course, we always appreciate viewer feedback. So if you want to see us do a cigar, a particular pipe blend, if you want to send us a cigar,
right?
What he said. Where is it? There he is.
We'll film, pretty much anything that's recommended to us, as long as it's a reasonable request. No asking for like Gurkha Black Dragons. For those who don't know, that's the most expensive cigar in the world.
I was about to ask that question.
Yeah.
How much is it?
Depends.
Yeah, it depends on what vendor you
ballpark
pick it up from.
Over $1,000 per stick.
Holy shit! We'd need a sponsor for that.
So unless either of you two have anything else to add, the only stuff that I have is feel free to check out the Facebook page, which is
live.
Still currently getting stuff added to it, but it is now live, and we're going to put it in the link below. And otherwise, a little bit of a teaser for our next video. I won't say next week's, because I don't know if we'll be doing a video next week.
Maybe Friday. I'm going to put it out.
Oh, yeah, maybe Friday. We'll see. The Padron 2000. It's one of the more common Padron ones that, it's not any of the special anniversary cigars, but that does not mean that it is any less quality. Padron in general has excellent quality, excellent cigars, and this is probably one of the better, good priced ones. This will only put you about $7, $8.95 in the hole for one of them.
That's the workhorse of the Padron line, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, you guys know how much I rant about how awesome Padron is.
They are good.
They don't have any bad cigars. They have some cigars that, in my opinion, are better than others that they offer, but none of them are bad.
Well,
on that note,
my pillow's calling my name.
This is Josh.
I'm Connor.
Chris behind the camera. I think it's bedtime, so have a wonderful night.
Peace out.
Who are you?
Hookah?
Hold up.